Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is the final layout for the splash theme for How to Kill a Kit with Style this month. I do not have any 12 by 12s left, so I am going to be pulling in a 12 by 12 of white cardstock. And this is all the scraps I have left of paper. This is it. So I am going to be pulling in the packaging card right here. I'm just going to cover the Felicity Jane portion so I still get the black and white polka dot. I knew this was going to be a multicolored page, so saving this little branding piece till the end was kind of nice because it already had all of the colors and all of the patterns on it. And now I just have these three papers I need to figure out how to use up. So I'm just trying to stagger them. I have this final branding strip, which again is rainbow with all the colors of the collection, so I thought it would go. So I'm just trying to figure out how to use all of them. I have two pictures here, but one of them is just Frankie on my shoulder on the drive home. This was the day we adopted him. We did not intend to adopt him. I was just taking Marcus to the store so that he could handle a bearded dragon because I'd been wanting a bearded dragon for a while. But Marcus is not a reptile person, so I wanted him to be able to handle a bearded dragon to see how he felt about them before we got him. And we showed up to this store, and literally Franklin ticked the box of everything I wanted. I wanted a young adult, so I didn't have to deal with the baby stage. I wanted a male. I wanted this color pattern, and he is just the most perfect boy, the perfect personality, everything. And so when we met him and he was an owner surrender, I guess someone had returned him to the store, didn't want him anymore and gave him to the store. But either way, he was 9 months old and his previous owner had returned him with everything, his lights, enclosure, everything in the enclosure. And they were pretty much like, hey, like, we'll give you all of this for just the price of him. So we were like, okay, like we couldn't get a better deal than that on top of him just being the perfect boy. I love Franklin, and I'm not a huge reptile person either. I don't have a problem with them, but bearded dragons are just special. They're just special. I don't know how to describe it. My brother had one growing up, and I always really liked him. And now that I've done all my own research for Franklin, I'm just having so much fun with him. So this was the picture I think I took either when we first got home or when we were still in the store. But he looks so tiny already. I was just feeling the other day looking at Franklin, like I didn't feel like he had grown that much since we got him. But now looking back at these pictures, he really has, because he looks tiny in this photo. But the main photo is just size reference with me and him. And then the smaller photo I used a frame for. And it's just Franklin in his new little harness. So that he could be on a leash on my shoulder in the car ride home. So love that. And a lot of the ephemera I had left for this page were all the florals from the Emily collection. So I'm just trying to get them all on this page. So those move around a lot, but I like what I've composed here where I have the journaling card and kind of these florals forming this horizontal line of embellishment. And then the little smile at the top there. I really like that. So I am going to pop the smile up on some foam and then one of the florals up on some foam just so there's some dimension down there. But otherwise, I'm pretty much going to leave everything how I have it and stick everything down. So this one came together pretty quick because I only had this much to work with. But I was happy I got everything used up that I did. There were also some like dark orange, almost on the red side die cuts in the Emily collection. So I'm going to add those onto this page there to the left there, that little heart and ticket. And hopefully get another one of the pink ephemera bits used up. But the florals were what I was really trying to use up on this page. So I was happy about that. But yeah, just adding on these final bits to see what else I can get used up. I kind of like what I have going on here. So before I glue everything down, I am going to get a white frame for my photo just so there's something behind the photo itself. So I'm just trimming a matte in white. And then I'm just going to go through a process of re-gluing all of this stuff down now that I like the placement of everything. But yeah, if you're looking for a reptile, bearded dragons are the way to go. Although I will say they probably have the largest startup cost if you're going to do it right. Too many people buy those bearded dragon kits in the store, which just has everything wrong with bearded dragon kits in them. So make sure you do your research if you are going to get one, because it hurts my heart when I see bearded dragons in just awful enclosures that are too small with, I don't know. I don't want to go too much into it. That's a can of worms with me now that I know all the proper care for bearded dragons. You will see I still have some photos to scrap of Franklin where I set up his new enclosure, and now he's in a 120-gallon bioactive enclosure, and I love it. I had so much fun putting it together, and Franklin loves it too. Like, when he was in his little 40-gallon I got him in, he was always glass surfing and wanting to get out of there, and he just looked like he was in prison, and it was so sad. He never wanted to be in his enclosure, and now that he's in his bioactive one, he like loves it. So now we can just set a ramp up to his enclosure while we're home, and he'll just come in and out as he pleases. But he like never glass surfs anymore. He loves his enclosure, so that makes me happy. So yeah, I love it. You'll see those pictures later on when I go to document us putting his enclosure together, but I love his setup now. And it worked out because his old tank we just had to use because a neighbor found a bearded dragon in their front yard. So we went and picked him up until we could find his home. And we just lucked out that we had Frankie's old enclosure to be able to put him in until then. So I'm glad that he came with everything. But now I'm getting everything glued down. I think we're almost to the point where I was before I had to start gluing everything. You'll see that final branding strip I'm just going to layer behind all of these. I end up covering most of it up, but I know I'm not going to use it in the future. So I just decided to use it. Now you just get little pops of that color on the edges of the page, but I think that's fine. I wanted to use it on a page versus it being stuck in my stash forever. So it's going to be sacrificed for the most part once I get all these other layers down. But I think we're almost there. This floral paper that's behind these other ones, I do trim a chunk off that's going to be covered so it can go on the bottom of the page so that that floral will look like a longer piece of paper and you get a pop of that floral along the bottom. So I will do that before I glue it down too. But for the most part, this is the layout. I will do some journaling since this is documenting us getting Franklin, kind of just saying what I just said. But he's the best boy. Even now, he's running around the house down there. I can see him. He just slid down his ramp. He's so funny. A lot of people don't think bearded dragons have much of a personality just because they like to just sit there and chill. But he is so funny. I love him. I think he just crawled back up his ramp to bask for a little bit. Yep, he's under his light. I love him. Here's that other pink die cut I decided to squeeze on here since it was the final page. So I am just going to pair that up with that orangey red heart. And then I thought about using word stickers on this one, but I kind of thought it would look too busy if I did. But I did end up using the rest of the orange puffy hearts. So I'm happy I got those on there. The ticket and that one heart that are kind of that reddish orange color were kind of standing out to me, and these puffy hearts are kind of more along that color, so I wanted to add more of it so that it looked like it belonged a little bit more. So I added them to 3 separate areas to create a visual triangle with those hearts and kind of spread that orangey red color around, and I think that was kind of the perfect touch. And then I will do my journaling, and then I will do some Heidi Swap Color Shine in teal and pink. I wanted to use 2 colors on this one since it is multicolor, so I'll do that at the end. But all my journaling says is, welcome Franklin. I had really been wanting a young male adult bearded dragon, so when Marcus and I visited Creation Pet in Woodstock and found a 9-month-old owner surrender who was sweet as could be, we had to have him. And then I dated it. This was June of last year, so I've had Franklin for just over a year now. And I'm just going to journal that in black and then do my splatter. So I had a lot of fun this month. I wasn't quite sure how the splash theme would go over, but I think getting my inks put to use this month was a really fun way to use it. And I really actually like the ink on all the pages. I was worried some of those brighter colors wouldn't go with the collections I was using, but they did. So it worked out really well. So there's the teal color shine. I'm adding the pink now, and then here will be the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the final day in the month, which I think is tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the layout share, and I will see you then. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.